There's no bloody sound, is there? Bugger it. Oh, fuck it. Yeah. I won't bother playing it all again. It's just drums, isn't it? Good day, Grand Rising. How you doing, bro? It's 8:15 in the AM. Here we go, nice little picture. Is it gone? Oh, there it is. That's what I want. Yo, Summer, how you doing, man? TW, how you doing? I don't want the music for it. I just want the video. There we go. All right. Joe, how you doing? Brilliant to see you. Of course, it's like it's early evening for you. It's not too late. It's the earliest I've been on for a while. I thought, hey, I might catch some people in America that are in bed, people in Canada staying up late, and also it's evening in the land of Oz and Kiwi land. So catch people on there. They're just. How did Friday go for you, Joe? 7:17 p.m. How did Friday go for you? Did you have a nice Friday? Friday's just about to start for me. I just want to know if it's going to be a good one. Did anything happen today? Did World War III start today, Joe? During your Friday? Tony Drake, how you doing? So, projection and how to recognize it. There's something very specific that's happened that that's I'm kind of triggered into making a video about it. I'm not gonna say who it is. I thought about it, and I'm not gonna actually highlight specifically. But yeah, I wonder if I could just play. Maybe I would just play, and if anybody recognizes the person's voice, then you recognize their voice. I'm not going to say who it is, and I'm not going to show the video. I'm just going to play it, and I'm going to read you the emails. Yeah, so we all know what projection is, don't we? Nath, good day to you, buddy. Sterling, mate, good to see you. Had your friend, the guy that you recommended, you said to him he might want to come over and you know, have a listen and maybe say something. He did. He came on. He came on the stream. What was his name? I think it was David. I think his name was David, and he's atheist, isn't he? So we had a really interesting conversation. I got a little bit triggered, and I got quite passionate about what I was saying. Hopefully I wasn't being a complete arse or a complete asshole. I was just really, I guess, surprised, which I shouldn't have been. I shouldn't have been surprised, really. I should have. It's just I haven't actually spoken to an atheist for a long time. It's been ages since I've knowingly spoken to an atheist about this sort of thing. So he's a nice guy. He is a really nice guy. He didn't get wound up. I did. Well, not wound up. I don't know if the word is incredulous. I think that's the word I'm looking for. But he was extremely polite, mate. It was a really good conversation. I really enjoyed it. And I do hope that he comes back, because I want to, talk about everything. It's good to talk to people who have a completely different opinion. I like to talk to people that have a different opinion to mine, that have a different perception. Sterling, yeah, hold off on that right now. Don't bring him right now, because there's something that I want to talk about. I want to talk about projection, and then I'll open the panel up. And I'll put a link in, and anybody that wants to join can join. I just want to say my piece first. So I'll just get to it. I met somebody, fellow content creator, on somebody else's stream, somebody else's panel. Again, it doesn't matter whose panel it was. It's just another content creator. And this guy just seemed very passionate. Seemed very passionate about what he was. He's really, really. He just really wants people to listen. Wants people to listen to him and to agree with him. And the thing is, I agree with a lot of what he says. He is a little bit too religious for me. I don't like people that. Well, it's not that I don't like people. I don't like it when people start trying to put the fear of God into me, because I think, wow, do you understand how ridiculous it is that what you're trying to say? Do you understand how ridiculous that is? That this God that you're talking about is an all-loving God who loves everybody unconditionally, unless you don't do what he wants you to do, and then he hates you and he sends you to hell for eternity if you piss him off. Is that's him? Is it this guy that is basically bipolar, loves you for eternity unconditionally, except for the condition that you have to do what he says. I have an issue with that. Anyway, he came onto my stream. We exchanged emails. I think he came onto my stream, actually. I can't remember. I think he came on my stream. But anyway, we exchanged emails because I said, yeah, I'll yeah, maybe. No, I haven't brought him on mine yet. We exchanged emails and I said, yeah, obviously come on my channel and we'll talk about it. He's been trying to contact my friends, fellow content creators, Roxanne, Brian, Karen. Nobody's getting back to him. Nobody's doing what he wants them to do. So I didn't think too much of it. Just, people are busy, they've got stuff to do. And also, like with me, I'm not all about flat Earth. I'm a globe denier who's getting on with it. I'm not hung up on it. I've accepted my own experience. I've accepted that as something that I can trust. My own physical experience, my senses, my own intellect, using mathematics and observations, I've accepted that the Earth is not what they tell us it is. That's enough for me. I don't need to know what it is. I actually don't need to know what it is because I don't think that the one responsible for creating all of this meant for us to worry too much about it. I think that what we're meant to worry about is how we conduct ourselves here, how we treat each other, how we speak to each other, how we treat ourselves, how we treat our friends, how we treat our enemies. That's what matters. That's what I have to worry about. I don't have to worry about what shape the Earth is, or if we're spinning in a vacuum of space, or where the sun is, or anything. All of those things, I know I can count on those. I know that I've never, ever, ever been sat there at 9 o'clock in the morning looking at my watch going, okay, so where the fuck's the sun then? So, it's like 3 hours late. Where's the sun? Did it go out drinking last night? Was the sun out drinking last night with the moon? And that's why it's late for work today. Are the stars ever late for work? No. You can't always count on the weather, but you can count on the fact that there will be weather. You can count on the fact that some days it will be hot, some days it will be cold, depending on where you live. If you live in Antarctica, you can... Actually, I was going to say you can count on it being really cold all the time, but we don't know, do we? We don't know what it's like in Antarctica. Sema, I'll try not to go on too long because I'd love it if you came on, mate. And Joe, be awesome if you came on as well. Joe's in Australia, Sama's in Australia, both on the same continent and hemisphere. Anyway, I'm digressing. So this person's got very, they're very passionate about what they perceive to be the truth, which has a lot of similarities to what I perceive to be the truth, but they're not. Yes, definitely, Joe, that would be brilliant. let me spit this out, and I'll pop a link in the chat. So his experience and what he perceives the truth to be is very similar to what I perceive it to be, but it's not the same. And there's things that I don't agree with, and there's things that he doesn't agree with. Things that I feel that I know that he doesn't agree with. But we'll leave all that to one side. I'm prepared to try and communicate with people, have a discussion, have a conversation, work things out, toss ideas around. So I'm sat here and I said to him, yeah, cool, let me know when you're free and we'll do a live. And then yesterday, out of nowhere, I get an email. Just pull it up. Oh. I've had quite a few emails off him. It's been forwarding everything to me. Where is it? Wow. You know when basically the energy that's coming off somebody, you can just feel it. You can feel the energy that's absolutely pulsing off of somebody. I can feel the energy that is pulsing off of this guy. He's pumping this energy out. And it's not nice energy, man. It's very, very chaotic. It's full of fear. Absolutely full of fear and anger. And that's all I get. That's the energy that I get, right? So I get this email out of nowhere yesterday. I bet you think you're smart. It's not easy thinking you're dumb. You want the truth? You're dumb as fuck. If you took the booster, period. Doesn't matter what excuses you make. Yeah, I know the truth hurts. That's how you know it's truth. I suggest doing a detox so it doesn't take your life. And then a whole bunch of Rumble links. So I respond. And say, hang on. I say, Alex, my brother, because I didn't think that this was directed at me. I thought what he was doing was forwarding me an email that he was sending to somebody else or something. So I totally get where you're coming from, but can I offer some advice? Speaking like this doesn't get the people that you want to listen to you to listen. it actually makes them go, la, 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 I'm not listening, la, 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 la. I did the same as you, dude. I totally get it. I learned a couple of years ago that I had to let go of the anger when I'm trying to communicate with people who are not listening. The only people who listen are the ones who already agree with you, and you end up in an echo chamber. Let me know when you're free for a stream. I'll do one in the next 4 hours if you're free. Otherwise, give me a good day and a time. I'm on Greenwich Mean Time. Much love to you, dude. From Richie. And then I sent another one saying, I'm just trying to work out if this is directed at me because I'm the only recipient. I'm the only one it's been sent to. His reply, yes. This time I was talking to you and about you. Truth hurts. And if you're after truth, like you say, and like to think, then I just gave it to you. I say it like this. This is I'm gonna speak it the way I'm receiving this energy, the way I'm getting it. So I reply and say, because I've had enough by now. This is just too many emails that I've had off him, basically either calling me an idiot or calling everybody else idiots and liars and da 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 da. Right? So I just said, I'm pure blood. Where the fuck did you hear that I was jabbed? I think you need to check yourself, pal. And I think I see now why my friends are ignoring you. Instead of apologizing to me, instead of apologizing profusely, because that's what I expect now. I expect you to apologize profusely to me when you've spoken to me like that, when you've got no reason to, you've got no call to, and you've accused me of doing stuff that I haven't done. And, you know, I expect you. And I will not accept anything other than a sincere, profuse apology. Not, oh, I thought you said you took it. My bad. In that case, tell everyone else that took it. Yeah, most can't handle the truth. Ignore all you want, but my words you'll remember forever. This person's only a couple of years younger than me, but it feels like I'm talking to a 14-year-old. Well, actually, having said that, I've never seen this person's face on camera. Not once, not even in a private conversation. Not even when it was off, it wasn't live. They won't show their face. So I just said, he said, watch the videos on Rumble I sent you. I've got a good idea. Perhaps stop emailing me. I don't appreciate your approach, and I certainly won't be taking your advice. I've been doing this for long enough to trust my own inner dialogue, and mine is telling me that you have quite a lot of work to do on yourself, as do we all. Best of luck to you, mate. No hard feelings. I just don't really want to receive any more emails from you. The energy I'm picking up from you reminds me of a time in my life when I was doing things that weren't good for my well-being. I don't know if you're still doing it, but your aggressive emails suggest that you definitely have work to do on your own anger. Hopefully you don't take this the wrong way and you'll contact me when you're feeling calmer and less angry. Whatever, man, have a good life. I get no support and that's what pisses me off. You just pouring more gas on the fire. Thanks. Another so-called truther, it seems. They didn't like Jesus' tone either. All these people are just too happy while the world is on fire. You're not pissed off enough and you're not doing enough. You probably don't care to warn anyone. You don't go out with signs or anything. You just do you and don't care about anyone else. And I'm not using for you, lies is truth, and that's why you just go about things like that. And I just said, okay, mate, whatever you say, have a great life. Don't learn from me, learn from this. Right? And so I turn on YouTube, and there he is. He's done a live stream where he's just basically, I couldn't listen to his voice, so I just looked at the subtitles. And he's just ranting at everyone. He's just ranting to nobody because nobody's fucking watching his videos. Nobody's watching him live. It's been up for 10 hours and only 8 people have watched it. Because he's sat there telling everyone that they're dumb. They're dumb as fuck. They're all liars. They're all this. They're all that. One of the things that, when he got comfortable, when we were chatting on the stream that time, he let something slip. He let something slip during that conversation. He shared something that I you know, fair play for sharing it. I've shared everything. But I learned that you know, if you share everything, it can be used against you. And I'm not using this thing against. It's just I'm doing what probably everybody else is doing with me. It's in the back of my mind. Hopefully, my behavior, the energy that comes off of me and everything, apart from the fact that I've lost a shitload of weight, I'm not sat here tweaking and, you know, hectic and chaotic and, you know, with hectic and chaotic energy coming off of me. So hopefully everybody knows that I don't use drugs anymore. I used recreational drugs in the past, and I don't anymore. And I haven't done since lockdown started, because I recognized very quickly that it's not something that you can't do that. You can't do that when you've got, you know, the situation. The only reason I did it was because I was earning decent money, and I had a lot, you know. I'm a musician. I was working for 2 hours a night, 6 nights a week. So I just had a little bit of recreational fun time. But when all that stopped, then all the recreational fun time stopped as well, because it had to. But that's not what that's not the energy that I'm getting off of this person. The energy that I'm getting off of this person is a different. It's. I think that they're still using. I think this person's still using. That's why they're as desperate as they are. And won't ever show their face on camera. So, Dave, how you doing, mate? And David M, good to see you. So, all this screaming at everybody, screaming into everyone's a liar. All these truthers, they're all liars. They're just liars, pouring fuel on the fire. Blah, 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 blah. I think there's a bit of projection going on there. I'm not going to embarrass this person. I'm not going to dox them or embarrass them or bring any attention to them or their channel. trust me, I don't think any of you know who it is. Well, you might do, but I just, man, I bet you think you're smart. It's not easy it's not easy thinking you're dumb, but you're dumb as fuck, mate. Dumb as fuck is sending an email like that to me. That's dumb as fuck, mate. And let's just get it right. Let's just remember, yeah. I'm not afraid to put my face on the camera. I'm not afraid for people to see who I am, but you clearly are. So how about you stop being a pussy? Because you know who you are. I don't need to name you. You know exactly who you are. And if you're watching this video now, which I really hope you are, stop being a pussy and hiding behind a profile picture. Get on camera. Let everybody see your face while you're sat there telling them they're liars. Why don't you do that? If you're going to sit there and tell everybody that they're dumb as fuck and they're all idiots and they're all liars, why don't you sit there and do that in person? Why don't you let us all see your face? Or is that you're not going to do that because you're afraid? You're afraid. And that's what's basically at the root of all of this situation is you are scared. You're scared because of your situation. Welcome to the fucking club, dude. I haven't been able to pay my rent for 3 weeks. I've got the fucking landlord knocking on my door all the time, telling me he's going to kick me out. Come on, Rich. We can't do this. I'm gonna have to. I've got people offering me so much for this room. Holiday makers. He reckons he can do a regular turnover just on holiday makers, charging £200 €200 a room, €200 a night on this room. Because this is a hostel. This isn't an apartment. This isn't a villa. This is a fucking room in a hostel. The only reason I've got internet access. So when I get booted out of this room, that's it. Bye-bye creating on YouTube. Bye-bye being able to speak to anybody. Bye-bye being connected to anybody. But I don't sit here begging people all the time to send me money. Telling people that, I've spent £60,000. I've invested £60,000 of my own money into my YouTube channel. I haven't invested 60,000 into my YouTube channel, and I don't think that you have either. I think you're lying about that. I think that you're just trying to make people feel bad or something to give you money. I play on people's heartstrings. I'm guilty of that. Because it's going to. The situation is going to, and I do hope that those people that are in a position to be able, anybody that's not in a position to be able to help me, I'm not trying to pluck your heartstrings, and I don't want you to feel bad for me because you've got your own shit to deal with. People that can help do have, a little bit spare and would be able to help out a fellow truther. That's the people I'm trying to appeal to. And it's to pay my rent and to buy my food. I've run out of cat food. I've got one day, basically after today, there's not going to be any dog food left either. I've got no fucking food. I'm 3 weeks behind on my rent. But I don't sit here every fucking stream saying that to everybody. I don't, Anyway, he's pissed me off. Obviously, he's pissed me off. Let's get some people on it, man. Let's lighten the mood. All right, let's speak to some cool people. There's a link. Rob Sanger, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Don't let fear control me. It's control you. Yeah. Exactly. JP, how you doing, man? You all right? Good to see you, mate. I'm going to turn this camera off again. I don't want to be on a camera in the morning. In the AM, at 10 to 9 in the AM. You'll see I'm still wearing the same bloody clothes I was wearing yesterday. I'm such a scruff. Ah, Dave, mate, you're a legend. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Actually, I better put my camera on a knife to if I'm bringing Joe on. Where are you, Joe? I hope that's you. That is you, isn't it? Can I hear nothing? Can I see nothing? Neither. Little Wing, how you doing? Yeah, seriously, Little Wing. I know that it's like we're all in the. There are so many of us are in the same boat. Actually, we're not all in the same boat. Actually, I'm going to stop saying that. We're not all in the same boat because I know we're not. I know that there's people out there that've got money to just fucking throw around because I see them doing it in other people's streams. You know, I see massive donations getting made to other people's streams. So there are people that exist out there somewhere in that internet ether. There's people that exist out there that do have money that you know, they're generous with it and they donate it. They, you know, I see 1,000 euros getting donated. It's like, wow, man, I wish I was providing something that made somebody feel was valuable enough for them to donate that much, you know? But yeah, it's there we go. Anyway, Joe, if you're there, we can't hear you and we can't see you. So I don't know. You might want to go out and come back in again, check your camera. But I can't see you or hear you. It says, when you say you're here, you're where? You're in the chat, or it says Joe here on my backstage. Oh, Joe's gone, and there's David. Right.
Hey, I'm here.
Joe's back.
Man, a lot's been going on with you lately, huh? Hear me?
Joe, we can't see you or hear you. There's nothing. There's no picture and there's no sound. I don't know. I can hear you, David. You're cool.
Okay, cool. I'm just making sure.
Yeah, no, you're all right, mate.
Sticker on my camera also.
Yeah, it's Joe. There's no picture or sound with Joe.
Thought I closed the tab. Sometimes I'm like in these streams and I'm like doing all this stuff and it took me forever to get in there.
TW, I wasn't going to roll a clip of this person, no. I thought about it and then I thought, no, I'm not going to bother.
No, it's not worth it.
It's not worth it, man. It's just.
I had an experience, Richie, where I was in a room, some comments they made on a stream, and then I was told that I was a disinformation agent by a very well known moderator, and me in the guy's channel, kicked me from the channel, and then he wrote me an email saying he was going to beat me up. You have your own opinion these days, regardless of whether you're right or wrong. It's just a personal opinion. When someone that's a truther goes out and attacks another person that's in the same boat and the same, for me to consider them a truther, I had that same experience. It's like, you guys are all, and I'm talking my truth, and I'm telling you exactly what happened because there's a video there, and then all of a sudden I'm a disinformation agent. And I've been on streams many times. I showed my face many times, like he lives in Hollywood, he works for the CIA, he's a fucking this, and I just had to be like, you know what? It doesn't even matter. The guy that wrote me an email saying he was going to beat me up is a drug guy, concerned about any of it. You know what I mean? And it's just that's the type of response you're going to get from people with personal issues, and they want to.
I wonder if it's the same person, man.
No, I doubt it. Someone that doesn't have a lot of viewers, also, but I really doubt it. You know what I mean? But I don't want it that important to me. You know?
No, exactly. But it's just like, bro. I mean, the video I'm making more than anything, I'm making the video for that person. That's why I'm not going to name it. You know, I'm not trying to
call anyone out.
I'm not going to dox. I'm calling them out, but not you know, like semi-publicly. It's like, if you watch this, mate, if you watch this video, you know, I'm just letting you know. All right, I'm letting you know, and you know who you are. That's the thing. Here she is. There we go. Bang.
All right.
Go.
I couldn't get in on my laptop, but I'm on my phone. So just let me shut down.
Okay.
My phone.
Cool.
And then I'll turn
on. Yeah.
Richie, I felt your show on Brian Stavely, but I saw that you wrote that the circuit breaker popped. Your computer.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Joe. Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, the trip switch went because there's an extension cable that's coming in through the air vent and is plugged into another extension cable down here. There's like, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 extension cables in here because there's only one socket. And they took the lights and everything for outside from an extension that came from my extension in here.
Oh,
and
wow.
But it's all. I'll see if I can.
Is it overloaded? Is that what happened?
Can you see?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Ooh.
That's the state of the wiring here, right? And so that little box there just suddenly went sparks and flames coming out of it, and the trip went, and I was like, huh, okay. So I just flicked the trip once just to see, and it went again. So it's like, all right, okay then. So I unplugged it, and everything came back on, and it was all fine. But I said to the landlord, yeah, you're going to have to sort out new power for the lights outside because you're not taking them from here anymore. Unless you get me a new cable to plug in, you're not doing that.
It's like the plug that you're plugged into is only going to support about 15 amps total. And the lights outside are probably taking more than...
When I first started doing tarot reading on Campbell's channel and spoke light language, there were people in the comments calling me a witch and of the devil.
Yeah.
Really intense sort of comments.
Christians.
Yeah, and that you know, speaking, of like the devil, like a witch. And how I decided was to not address them. The only thing that I said to Campbell on one of the recordings that we did is it makes me ask, who hurt them so much that this is how they act with something they don't understand? That it shows the amount of pain that they really are in, and a way
They're suffering,
to handle the pain is to lash out at others. And that was the only thing I ever said. I never addressed it. So I've always been with the opinion not to give them any oxygen, not to give them any airtime, and that's how I've always handled it.
Yeah.
Never said anything about this to anyone until today, but I'm not really even trying to say the story because it doesn't really an example of like of people that are in those situations that feel they're desperate or they're pain or whatever their scenario is going on, that they want to lash out at others. And I've done a lot I've done little for other people, but at the same time, I'm trying to be part of what's going on here. My opinion may be different than yours, or I might be in a different level than everybody else. But to call people like it's pretty funny. Just for people to say like I'm a secret agent, pretty funny. I wanted a secret agent man be my theme song, you know, just to like make life. Because at the end of the day, Richie, like you just gotta have fun with it, man. Like forget about all these people here that are trying to bring you down and take that attention and make you an emotional response to take your etheric power from you. And that's really what happens further than that. You're a great guy.
I mean, it's important to know that I'm not although I was a little bit triggered, but you know, it's just
I was too. Time I saw the female.
it's just a little bit triggered. It's like, okay, right. And so my response is I sat and I thought about it for a bit, and I turned it over. I made a cup of coffee, turned it over my mind, and thought, no, I'm going to make a video. I'm going to say something. I'm just not going to say who it is. I'm not going to actually say who it is. But because they obviously watch my channel, he watches my channel, so
right.
He'll see it. But it's
say no more.
It's trying to work out if this is somebody that can be saved. You know, he's desperate to save everybody else. He's desperate to save everybody else, and all I can see is somebody that actually needs to be saved from himself.
Sometimes that's what you have to do, is just realize what they're going through and the suffering they're. How can I help this person, even in the slightest way? You know.
I mean,
you should promote the person's channel. Honestly, you know what I'm saying. Not this way, not now, not after this context, but I mean, like, you know.
No, but that's the thing. I'm not going to promote their channel because that whole that's all his videos are, man. It's just screaming at everybody, telling them they're all idiots. You know, it's not constructive. It doesn't feel constructive, and like that's why I really wanted to be able to, because when I was talking to him the first time, it really seemed like I was getting through, and
right.
And that's why I said, come on my channel, and we'll talk, we'll hash it out, we'll share your stuff, we'll talk about your stuff, we'll talk about the work that you've done and everything. But he's just so determined to butt heads with people. He wants to butt heads with everyone. So, yeah.
Also, it says the stance that I take in these situations is it always says more about them than it ever says about me. And you just can't take this stuff personally. That's how, if I took it all personally, you just never get through life. And it's, for me, it's compassion. I know, look, as you know, I'm into love and light and looking at it as much a compassionate viewpoint as I can, and that I'm not going to take on their pain. I'm not going to take on their perspective, but still understand that they're in a terrible state that would make them do this. Surya Truyashtakayat Sestushanyat Sikena. Jetukriatsi kumbariatasiaka. Jezukriende bikenyat sakariot sheshana. Ijotriashesa kuriatsi zezazianakia. It's teaching us compassion is why I think these things happen, Richie, actually. Compassion for the plight of other people and what they're going through. But that doesn't mean we make ourselves a punching bag. Absolutely. It's not about, letting them hit you or anything, but you just don't give them, don't give them oxygen. This is how I handle it anyway. I just don't put them in my mind. I don't think about them. I shut the door on them and get on with my life.
I block these people on YouTube, and I don't see their comments anymore. I don't hear from them. No, I unsubscribe.
He hasn't left any comments. It's all emails. And I did honestly, I looked at blocking him, and I was going to block him. And then I thought, no, I will just see, like the last email that I sent, just basically said, look, just stop emailing me. I don't want to hear it. I could see you speaking then, but I couldn't hear anything. I don't know if there's a lag there, Dave.
I can't hear at all. I've not heard Dave at all.
You can't hear Dave at all? No, Joe can't hear. I can hear it, but what it's doing is it's like you're speaking. I can see your mouth speaking, and then the speech is 2-3 seconds behind it, and it's missing the first part of what you say. It's just we're just getting grabbled a little bit. We just ride it out. It will get better, I'm sure.
It might be where I'm located in my house. My house is painted with lead paint, so.
I remember you saying actually you live in a bit of a Faraday
so like some areas are like perfect, and some areas I walk into the room, it's like.
What's the day been like today, Joe? Has it been hot?
It's been really beautiful here today.
You look
not
like
too
you've caught the
hot,
sun.
actually.
You do look like you've caught the sun.
Oh, look, I've got a new light. Hang on, I can change that. Hold on. There, is that better?
Oh no, no, you look good. It's good. That's very white. No, put the warm one on. Put the warm light on. That's nice.
It's the warm one. No, I said in the comments that I watched a really fascinating interview with, do you know that movie, The Men Who Stare at Goats?
Yeah. I haven't seen it. I've heard about it. It's about the CIA, isn't it? Trying to make goats for
the remote view operation. So I heard the guy that the George Clooney character was based upon. So it's sort of this guy's life. His name is, I think, Lynn Buchanan, and he was interviewed a quantum businessman in the last couple of days. The guy's life is really fascinating. It's such a good interview to have a listen to, and about how you can use it, for example, to predict whether, I mean, this is just one of the things that you can do, but predict which football team is going to win. Like you can actually use remote viewing. But oh gosh, it was interesting to watch it.
Remote viewing is one of these things where you have to be able to trust yourself, because you have to be able to recognize when it's your ego, when it is your imagination, and I think the way it's done, and I've not ever practiced it because there's a little part of me that feels intrusive. There's a little bit of me that's like, oh, I don't want to go and look at people when it feels like, because I don't. I don't know. It just feels like
But if you have a look at this interview on the Quantum Businessman, you will see that it's much more than that. They help locate missing children.
Yeah.
They do a lot of different things. And he said it's really practice. You're saying, how do you know it's your ego or if it's you're imagining it? And he just said you do it so much it becomes like breathing. And that's how you know.
So what I was going to say is that so when it's a remote view, you don't have to think about it. It just happens. But it's when you think about it, when you're trying to, if you try to focus your mind on it, that's when your imagination can come in. But if you don't try to focus your mind on anything specific, you just let the images come, and it's the ones that come first. It's not it's
Your
not
gut
what you build
intuition,
up afterwards.
Richie?
It's that first image that comes that you have to hold on to.
Are you saying it's like your gut intuition or what?
How he describes how he talked about working out which football team would win. He would, for example, Team A would be sugar and Team B would be vinegar. And he would then not tell the remote viewer anything about what they were actually remote viewing. It was just a coordinate number. And the guy would give him the number and then he would say, what do you taste? And if he tasted sugar, he knew Team A was going to win. If he tasted vinegar, he knew Team B was going to win.
It seems like a much purer way to extract the information, kind of thing.
There's many different ways to do it. There's many different ways. And he's have a look. He's remote viewed what he defines as ET bases around the world, and he did there's one apparently in the Northern Territory here in Australia, an ET base. So it's fascinating. I was like jaw dropped, and I had keep closing my mouth. It was a really good thing to contemplate for the day.
And I'll just say, if anybody, if there's anybody out there, flat earthers or globe deniers, that flinch and cringe when they hear the word, ET, would just remind you it's extraterrestrial, which doesn't. It just means they're not from this realm. That's all. Maybe they are. Maybe they are from this realm. They're just from land within this realm that we don't know.
They're from the extra land, Richie.
It's just land that we're not told about. That's probably called land. Mars. It's the land is probably called Mars and the Moon and Saturn. And I swear that's what they're doing. They're using planetary names and stuff for missions and for what's it called? Operations that are happening on Earth, like this, Occupy Mars, all of this sort of stuff. I think that's probably Mars is probably somewhere in Antarctica. I think.
It's funny that you say that. It's funny you say that because in all the old maps,
for most of my life, I've believed in space and planets. And it was a big part of the school. It was a part of it, but it was just a concept that was accepted in my very early spiritual lifetime, my journey. My teacher came from beyond the North Star, and he talked about spaceships. And so I've always lived and breathed that as a truth. And then when I came across flat Earth, and you look at the evidence, it's true. You look at, if you keep putting up the, what do you call it, the telescope, you eventually see the ship on the horizon. It hasn't gone over a circular, curved Earth. It's there. It's just so tiny and far away. I mean, in truth, there is absolutely fantastic evidence that where we are is flat. But are we in a dome? And I think Sonia says this. Sonia Testament says we're in a dome, in a little realm, but it's actually big. It's actually a bigger realm than we realize. So what the absolute truth is, I'm not quite sure, because it's not really important to what I do. I'm focused on something else. So
it's important to
and
any
to
of
me,
us.
it's interesting. I love it. I think it's fascinating. What are we in a crater on the moon? Who knows?
David, dude, I don't think I'm not sure why, but I don't think that Joe can hear you when you're speaking. Joe, just give me a check 1 2 and see if Joe can hear.
Yo, can you hear me, Joe?
She can't
Do
hear
you
me.
hear me, Richie? Do you hear me, Richie?
I can hear you fine, mate. I can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm talking at the same time.
It's the trouble is because we can't see your face on the camera. Nobody can actually
I
see.
turned it off.
That's the only thing. Yeah,
I
you
turned
see,
it off to help late.
I can see your mouth move.
Yeah, it's good. The latency's gone. That's gone now. That latency.
It says I have full signal, but I'm on a cell phone. Like, it's kind of unpredictable.
No, Joe can see your mouth but not hear it. I think everybody, hopefully everybody else can hear. Yeah, 17 Joy can hear you.
17 Joy, you should join in.
It must be Restream.
She's
Restream's a little bit. Restream's a little bit funny. We're using the free one. I'm streaming to both my channels, to 2 channels, and yeah, sometimes we have a bit, especially going between America and Canada and Tenerife and all these different time zones. There always seems to be a little bit of a lag or a bit of a mix up with the audio. Yeah, I'm exactly where you are, Joe. With it doesn't matter, and it's no longer really of any major interest to me, because I think I know enough. I think I know enough to get on with my life. I don't need to know what the parameters of this earth are. Like I said, all I need to worry about is how I conduct myself while I'm here, and how I engage with other people, and in and out. We'll get there in the end, Dave. London man. So yeah, what you were saying, Joe, actually is similar to or aligns a bit with what London man is saying about his crater Earth theory. I don't know if you've heard.
Well, Richie, what about
I have.
What about the theory? Is correct. All these theories are right, all at the same time.
Yeah, I think because of the law of individual perception. I think just on that level, because each person is perceiving things their own way, and to them, what they're perceiving, that's the way it is, because that's the way I'm perceiving it. So in that sense, every single version of Earth that could exists within
think
each
about how
person's
your perception has changed over time as well, that globe. But another point, you believe in a flat Earth. So you're saying the first 20 years of your life was a lie. Different perceptions,
First 35 years of my life, I thought I was spinning on a rock. Can you hear David now, Joe?
Can you hear me? I
no,
left and came back.
Hear him.
I don't know.
I don't know, Joe. Maybe if you go out and come back in again, maybe it'll work then. I want to get this sorted so that you guys can both hear each other.
We could all talk at the same time.
Yeah. I'll just shout out to the chat room while I'm while we're waiting.
17 Joy, scroll up if you're interested in joining. I'm not sure if you're available. I don't know what time it is in Australia, but I assume it's 18 hours difference. I assume it's Friday. Wait, what day?
Yeah, I'll pop.
Fridays. I assume it's Saturday in the.
It's like it's about 20 past 7 in the evening where Joe is, and I think it's the same time where Sema is as well. So yeah, it's evening time now. Hopefully Joe will be back any second.
About this realm that there's a lot of changes that will happen. So what we consider now true at some point, like let's just I don't want to use the word gravity, but like just for the word gravity, and they say that we have all these theories that there is no gravity. Maybe there was at a certain point, existed at a certain point, but since the realm has changed, it doesn't exist anymore. And if the sun has changed colors, then plants also grew differently, and we are different. So I feel like we have different races in this world. Is these different races came about in different parts of the sun, and they adapted to that in their environment, and then the newer races and we have all these survivor races, and those survivor races people call or whatever, but we're all native to the planet. Anyone born here is native to the planet. But people were born at different times in different periods. And I do know, in my opinion, is the realm above us. In that realm underneath us, people from there. In the realm above us, people from there as well. But a lot of people would disagree with that. They want to feel that this is the only realm and there's nothing.
No, this is why I like Jason Brashear's theory of the resets, of this being a simulation of sorts. It's obviously it's not a simulation in the terms that in a computer sense. This is a physical computer. We're all physical computers. It's an organic physical system, but it's a simulation. It's a so that it can be, it's being reset however often it is, every 138 years, every 795, whatever it is, there are resets taking place. And after the reset, everything's different. Things have been shuffled round. And the whole idea, I don't know if the resets were something that were introduced in order to, because of this element, but maybe the resets were introduced because man's ego is too big.
Maybe you're not supposed to get too comfortable, and you're supposed to like keep, like a lot of people out there, they're just lost. They're zombified at this point, so they're not really progressing, physically progressing anything. They're done. They've given up, and we call those people.
This is Sterling. Sorry, mate. Just can
you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear David? All right.
Yeah, I can hear everyone.
Too. So maybe maybe it was a connection problem.
Hopefully Morgan, we've got Isabella live as well. Joe, I hope you're going to come back.
Yeah, Joe, come back. I was talking with you, but I don't think you were hearing me.
Isabella live. Morgan, I hope we've got a good. I hope you've sorted out that cutout with your audio. How's your audio doing, Morgan?
Good. I switched it before I came.
Yeah, it's
sounds deep.
Oh,
this end? No, this end is not decent,
no,
dude. Your voice is cutting in and out.
Oh, really? I can hear him.
No, not you, Sterling, not you. Go on, speak to us, Morgan. Speak to us, mate.
I can hear him.
No, I can hear him, but it's cut.
I've got them.
There's this little.
Super.
Morgan.
Just shout out to the chat room. What's the audio like for you guys? We're gonna have to talk for them to know what the audio's like.
How's it sound?
Let me ask you real quick.
We're all connected. One of the reasons also. There's a little bit of lag and latency probably through Restream, I would think.
Are we all on Restream?
Yeah, this is on Restream.
Okay. I didn't know if some people could join on like StreamYard on your other channel or something.
Yeah, no, because I was using StreamYard, but I'm using Restream now because there's no time limit. On StreamYard, you only get 20 hours a month.
Wow.
And you can only stream to one platform. But with Restream, you get unlimited. There's unlimited hours, and you can stream to 2 platforms. So it's like, okay, I'm going to go with Restream then.
I've heard you say that, which, yeah, that's pretty cool. The only thing about Restream is I feel like the name doesn't do it justice. Restream for like a live stream, it's quite confusing.
Yeah,
you know? Right. Because I avoided anything that said Restream, I avoided it. I thought it was like a rerun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For the longest time.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
What's funny is when I'm connected through my browser, everyone is in infrared. They're in everyone's in, like I see the whites in your guys' eyes and everything. Like it looks real weird. It's not normal. On YouTube, it looks fine. Might be the browser I'm using. I'm cutting in and out also.
No, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
If it's me, I could try another browser too. I was just thinking that. I haven't tried another browser yet.
What browser are you on?
Brave.
Oh yeah, I'm on Brave as well. Brave seems to work all right.
Brave works good for me. Like on StreamYard, I've never had any problems with it. Just try it. I mean, I could try the default browser too.
The trouble is on StreamYard with Brave, it doesn't share the audio, which doesn't matter for me because I put everything through my desk, so it doesn't matter because I can use my desk as the microphone, which will pick up all the audio. But before I got my desk, that was a pain in the ass. London man, good to see you, mate. Good to see you. What I was going to say to Joy before she's not come back. Hopefully, I hope she comes back. Was about London man's theory about crater Earth, and about he was saying the other day that Earth, the whole of Earth, is actually Africa. Like every continent, we are part of Africa. That was one of the things.
Well, that's like
coming
Pangea theory too, isn't it?
Wait, hold on. So you said the hole in the Earth is Africa?
Yeah.
So
okay.
Physical hole, like in the center, you're saying?
No, the actual Earth, like every continent.
But that's what they also called it Pangea, did they not?
Okay.
Not sure. Voynich, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Not Tangier. That's Morocco, isn't it?
No, Pangea. P with a P.
Oh, Pangea. Yeah.
Pangea. Yeah.
There's a lot of truth to that. I mean, if you look at the map, you could tell that it's been we've had a worldwide flood, and we know that there's a lot of still exist.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of what exists?
Underground. They're not like people living there. Just they're still there. You know what I mean? They haven't been destroyed. They're just.
I mean, what about what's happening in Turkey and Syria? All these earthquakes. I was watching Jacob Israel's video today where he was showing that one of the things is there's an olive grove that's been there for however many thousand years, and it's just completely ripped this olive grove. Half the trees are gone. It's just torn right through this olive grove. And it just reminded me of one of the things that I learned on this journey was about all the tunnels and the route, the city that's underneath Turkey. And we know from all the mud flood research and everything, all the wonderful research that people have been doing into mud floods, using LiDAR, using LiDAR and everything, all the Urbex exploration channels that I've watched where they've gone into cities under cities and cities under cities under cities, and we are on top of everything that's built now is built on top of
all
who
buildings.
knows how many generations and how many cities.
I could tell you in England, the subway system 9 levels, meaning 9 stories. So story building is how far it went underground there in different levels. We couldn't get through. But it goes down, and like you're saying, it's not just America, Turkey, everywhere. Look at the cartels in
beneath it.
Look at the cartels in Mexico. They're always like, oh, they dug all these tunnels. No, they didn't.
Yes.
Tunnels fucking existed and started using them. You know?
No, mate. They dug them with spoons. They dug them out with spoons and pickaxes
for miles, right?
Yeah, they did it in 3 days. They did it all in 3 days. Yeah.
No, I just think that some people sold that information to those type of characters to make money, because I think people. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of corruption in this realm, and some people know all the secrets, and some people don't. About what's right and what's wrong,
I think there's men that think they know all the secrets, but I don't think there's a single man alive on this earth that knows all the secrets.
Oh, I would agree with that too. But I'm just saying, like, in general, like they knew that this realm was weird, that we're living on mountaintops and lands and all types of other stuff. Previous something here before that, and also the giant trees have been by a lot of people, but there's so much evidence of it, and I feel that all these giant trees, these ley lines, and then after they cut them all down, that's when these people built these structured energy points, whether they're pyramids or whatever, to tap into that energy, but multiple levels below it.
So before
Brian Forster openly shows it now,
And so, I mean, I can see that if before there was the structures there was a tree there, and maybe the tunnels.
And that's what we call bedrock.
Do with the root system. The tunnels are also
that could be part of the tunnels, but I think
that's the city system. That's what I believe. Like the city.
Well, if you look at the old books, they say
structure.
That we used to live. It says we physically lived in the trees before. So either like we found texture around the trees or inside of the trees.
Mm-hmm.
Morgan, you're cutting out for me. I don't know.
You're getting grabbled badly, Morgan.
Both.
You're getting grabbled, mate. It's really frustrating. Dude, turn your camera off. Morgan, turn your camera off. See if that makes a difference. Because it might just be the bandwidth. If we all turn our cameras off, we'll all turn our cameras off.
Yeah.
Oh, that worked out.
I'm already off.
Super.
That might be
yes, that's much better.
Yeah, Morgan, you sound way better now. Now I can hear you clear.
I know. No, that was a great idea, brother.
I didn't think that was going to work at all.
It was the. Oh no! It's got to be the underwater. Like doing my video feed, it doesn't mind doing my audio. It is an underwater wire, right, man?
Yeah, we're underwater, Morgan.
Yeah, it's a wire going underground from England to me, back to England, or to me.
And all those America. And all those lines were laid like a couple hundred years ago that we used to do that internet under
1700s, late 1700s.
Late 1700s, exactly.
Yeah.
They laid all those lines down there.
Long before anyone, any internet.
They didn't do it when it was underwater, Morgan. When there was no water, and then it got flooded, and they found out how to tap into it.
Oh, right. Very intelligent. Thank you. video that made so much sense. Of course, brother. Of course.
I mean, nothing's new under the sun. So
before
I mean,
the water.
that technology existed.
Yeah. I mean, I am. It shows that your thought process is going to now incorporate that, as well, and that's wonderful. Yeah, I believe it was laid dry in the first place, and it's not a couple hundred years old. It's been
Well, I mean,
as long.
the only reason I say that is because the only reason I say that is like how floor now. I know they could do stuff at certain depths, but when you get too far down there,
Right, the pressure, brother. You know it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Pressure. Yeah, pressure.
What I'd be interested to know, because if we haven't dug any deeper than 7.5 miles, we've not, or certainly officially, that's what the story is. We've been able to dig deeper than 7.5 miles. So if there's chambers and rooms being used, the reason we couldn't dig that deep was because nothing was hard enough to cut through. Nothing. The earth wasn't how they thought it was going to be. It wasn't the consistency they thought it was going to be. Where they thought they were going to be hitting bedrock, they were going into big open spaces, big bubbles. There was shale where they thought there was going to be rock and stuff. And so, but once they got down to a certain point, it didn't matter what sort of tip drill they used, whether it was a diamond tip or whatever. All the drills that they used failed when they got to a certain point. So I want to know what because if you're in water, obviously
the titanium alloy.
If you're in the water and you go down to depth, but the pressure of the water, the weight of the water that's pushing down on you, so
will crush you.
If you've not got any water, what are the pressure levels going to be at that depth?
Justin Richie, that you stopped streaming on 00 since no one's in there, maybe? Sema.
Nope. I don't know if it will actually stop, but I can.
No, I'm just making a suggestion from what I see in the chat. A little delay, not as bad, but I hear you way clearer, but you still cut in and out, and it's me.
There's no
problem.
There's nobody on 00, no. Right, if you're on my 00 channel and you're watching on my 007 channel, then come over to the Magic Tree House.
Right
on. See you there.
Yeah, I'm going to turn it off there on 007. All right.
Excellent.
I don't know.
Can we get? Oh, that was wonderful. 20,000. We were 20,000 under the water, man. I was digging that. Can we bring it back to your
20,000 leagues into the.
Yeah, that's what I remember. You were making your point, and we were like, and I was thinking the pressure on water. Yeah.
Yeah.
We were talking about the pressure and how at that depth, and something that we could do that we couldn't do before, or that we could do because the water wasn't there. You were making a point about that.
Well, I mean, my point is this world wasn't. My point was this: we have flood myths in every single creation story, every religion, every background, evidence of it everywhere, and we see terraforming that's happened on this place don't exist anymore.
Yes.
We see in LiDAR, we see all the stuff underneath the earth.
Certainly
what the earth would look like if we removed all the water, to me it looked like a bunch of trees. Okay, you guys are showing us this fucking trees, you know.
I think if you remove
yes.
That's a bit like a termite mound, isn't it? If you removed all the water,
yeah, mate.
Ants nest.
It's a termite map.
That's
wonderful analogy right there. It looks like a circuit board and a termite map.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's all kinds of things happening all at the same time, coexisting at the same. It's so hard for one person to have an overall
Yes.
comprehension of it all. Even all the lies are based on truth, and most people are out there. They're sharing their truth to be as true. It's based on a lot of truth. So, do I feel that everything is correct in some kind of exception? Sure, maybe, but I'm more inclined to believe that we all have pieces of them all together. It paints one big picture. Instead of it just being flat Earth, it could be flat and it could have these other things or whatever. I just feel that not like we could add more to that one theory and just we could build from that, and we could see that we've been years. But why stop now? Like, I think
yes, exactly. Open
you're
faith,
dying.
manifest it.
So I don't know. Opinion. My other opinion is
pass it on the energy
inside the actual physical pineal gland of creator, and it's crystalline. So we have this crystalline front and crystalline also. So maybe that's where we're at. Some people say we're reflections in this crystalline whatever. I'm not exactly sure, and I'm also at the point where I don't really even need to know anymore. I just need to focus on what I need to do. A lot more important than arguing with somebody, because arguing is negative. Keep living like that. It's holding me back from me being who I'm supposed to be. Petty.
Because
everyone that thinks they hate me, or because one person thinks I'm a secret. I can't dwell on that anymore. I can't
it's arbitrary. In fact,
I can't give any. So I don't know. My perspective is I'm interested in internet now, because I know even in their when the way they're, even if they're baiting it or whatever, they're still truth in there. I want to even if I want to find the pieces. I don't silver lining in everything. I don't want to look for the negative anymore.
What information can you collect from them?
That has nothing,
because you're actually listening, not arguing.
And this is a magical realm. Can I believe that magic all day?
Sorry,
every day.
David, I'll just pause you for a sec.
Yes.
Morgan, mate, can you do me a favor? Can you go into the audio settings and make sure that the noise suppression is set on?
That
you've got your noise suppression set on. Because I think one of the problems is that the level, the recording level, like the gain on the mic. The gain on your mic seems to be set really loud. So when you raise your voice, because you're because you're enthusiastic about what you're saying, but it's cutting out more when you raise your voice. And I've noticed that is one of the issues with Restream is their noise suppression.
Absolutely.
And echo cancellation, because I have to have the noise suppression turned on even when I'm using a desk.
Off?
Do that. I don't. I have everything turned on. I leave everything turned on.
I just turn mine high resolution audio also to see if that makes a difference. Does this in the chat out there?
Yeah, your audio is good, David. Your audio is good, mate.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
How about now? Is that better?
Yeah, that's a bit.
Okay.
That's a bit better. Yeah.
All right, cool. The bars aren't showing near the red as much. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, my levels are lower. That's good.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
I just want to say one thing in chat. It's I wrote the name of it. It's Wu Fu. Sorry, guys.
Ooh.
It's what?
He was talking about Kung Fu, and I was saying he likes old Kung Fu movies, and I also watch a lot on YouTube, and the channel is called Wu-Tang Collection, and they like old movies I've never seen, like Asian movies that were never released here.
I still love Wu-Tang Clan.
Like the cruel tutelage of Pai Mei. That's in Tarantino's Kill Bill Part 2. But Pai Mei is a character in the Wu-Tang Clan, right? well, not in it, but he was a nemesis, right?
Oh
Yeah.
God, I can't remember, man. I was never that heavy into it, but I did enjoy it.
I enjoyed those much.
Sterling, you're very quiet, mate. You're very quiet.
What was our subject that we were just on?
Jaime and Kung Fu.
Sterling, what do
you
think about what we were just talking about the trees and the ocean and the
ocean
level and everything else?
Well, yeah. First, yeah. Thanks for having me again. And the audio seems to be a little bit better now. And so yeah. I was just making sure my audio was good and getting settled.
Your audio is good.
It's cool.
Good.
And also,
I can see the chat now.
Yeah, that's great. I was trying to look at that too. Thank you. But yeah, no, there's a little bit of, for me, I'm just kind of like trying to read the room a little bit. No need to be nervous, but I just I don't know a lot about these subjects, so I'm just trying to put it all together, I guess, you know.
Oh no, I understand.
Yeah,
I like you already just from listening to your voice. I just want to let you know that I'm not a psychic, but whatever it is I am, I like
you. You're cutting out again, Morgan.
Yeah, you are cutting out again, Morgan.
I think it's when you're talking like calmer, it translates better for us.
I think,
Okay,
honestly,
like,
I think
like
it's
this.
Yeah, I hear
think
you. Good. I don't hear you cut out.
we're able to affect signals like Wi-Fi signals and stuff.
Right.
We're able, the energy that's coming off of us, and especially when we're feeling passionate about things, the energy that comes off us interferes with those signals. So if you're using Wi-Fi or Bluetooth or anything like that,
because they're artificial, Rich.
Yeah, and it's frequency, and our frequency.
Yeah, we have our own net, and we can project telepathy. Maybe not as much anymore in the realm, but at one point we could all communicate with the trees and animals, the plants, the plants. It seems like we've lost that, but that could be also the ages changing. I mean, I'm not an expert in this subject, but it's just I've read a lot of books and I've read a lot of history of I mean, just a lot in general, period. And it just story over and over again. Doesn't matter where it's from. Doesn't matter who says it. Some people just tell it from their own perspective.
For me, reading history, looking at history, it's the same story being retold. Yeah. It's always the same story, and the story is all about man's ego, man's desire to conquer, man's desire to have power over himself, and then that turns into power over other people. It always seems to be this story of being able to find humility or not, you know, being able to
this is a master learning school. I mean, and keep learning. After you learn one, there's another one comes for you, you know.
So I was watching Richard Vobes again yesterday, and he had these two people on. I'll see if I can find it actually, so you can see. He had these two people on. They were talking about basically Buddhism. They're kind of Buddhist Christians, sort of.
Yeah, Buddhism has changed over the years.
Yeah, and they were talking about the different. They were talking about the different layers, or the different lives, basically the different realms. So there's 4 realms below this one.
This is the 4th realm. This is Middle Earth,
which is
the heart chakra.
They were saying this is the first realm here, and then you've got 7 realms above and 4 realms below. So
I think in a lot of like mythology, I've seen that this is like so people start here and then they go, like you're saying, down or up.
Now,
like 7.
Now I'm hearing an echo.
Yeah,
me too. Does someone have their audio in the background on?
No. And I hate to keep complaining about the audio. I just want to make sure it's a good experience, for everybody. Because the trouble I'm having is not hearing some of the things you're saying, and then also people talking over each other. And I'm not trying to be rude, but then also like just the subject matter in general, I'm not familiar with. So I'm sorry.
Yeah. Just if everybody,
Did you try
like,
your settings,
everybody,
Sterling? Also, did you try your audio settings? I mean, you sound.
Sure. Yeah. I'm in my audio settings now, but it says I can't turn on the noise suppression because it's not supported in Safari, and I'm on my iPhone, so
Yeah, I have the same.
I'm not sure.
Me too.
Okay.
Safari's shit.
Turn it
Safari's
on.
the worst. It's the worst browser to
Sterling.
use with FreeStream or StreamYard. Like,
Um,
period.
Richie, when I looked into Buddhism, I mean, there's definitely different kinds of it. There's a more ancient Buddhism than we know in modern day, and that also and like I think that's where you're getting those stories from, not from a modern day version.
No, they're getting it from it's where they're getting it from. So here I've got the let me share the page.
I mean, I've read a lot of books on the subject. That's why I grew up with a certain type of Buddhism in the family as well.
Oh, actually, I need to not share the audio because it will echo if I do. Hang on a sec.
The idea of all life, right? That's the one where you don't kill any if you can avoid it. Right?
Of what we've had to deal with in this long time. And the solution to it is to be positive and to send out love and blessings into the world, which is the opposite of what they would like us to do.
So where is it? Sorry, where is it?
Cycle, we would never try to hold that up, but the dark ones do, because they realise that they would lose their dark power.
So when you say they hold up their rebirth, what?
One of the things that does really kind of annoy me a little bit is that what these people do not talk about at all is the fact that this realm is duality, and that that these dark ones, as they call them, they're going to exist. They're always going to exist. It's part of this realm. It's part of the experience. There's light energy and there's dark energy, and there's people that just want to try and use light energy all the time, and because they exist, there's people that are just going to want to use dark energy all the time. That's just the way it is. So that
and there's always balance, and that's like when everyone's like they're scared of like, oh, this is going on. There's always balance. Like
it's
there
always
could be
balance. Yeah,
this evil. They could be trying to inject this many people or do whatever. Yeah. The other half don't go for it. So I mean, there's always going to be that, and I think a lot of people that is because some of the people in their life chose to go the route that they didn't. Said about that, and then they want to take it out on others. I mean, I had the same experiences in my family. It's like you would do these things, but they chose to do the things because their path is different than mine. Just give them kindness, good-hearted, whatever. You know what I'm saying? The word love, and I'm not sure about the term love, and I'm not sure if love is something that we made up. Love might be on the extreme end of one of those dualities, because there's love and hate. You see what I'm saying, Richie? So if I'm all love, I'm not balanced. I'm saying. So a lot of people, and then when everyone puts the hearts in chat, I just want everyone to know it could be an infertility symbol. So I mean, I know we do it with good intention, but important for us to be aware of some of the symbology that we do use, and that's the biggest trick. Is we blame them when it's you doing all the cursing and all the spell hatred and whatever else, and you don't even realize it. Maybe if you're not even doing it intentionally.
And that's their trick. That's the big trick on this earth.
The big trick.
They actually they can't do anything. That's why we have the power. That's why we're the ones with the power. They can't do anything. They're not allowed to do anything to us. We have to do it to ourselves. We have to use our own free will
We
to
are the
do it to
sap.
ourselves.
You have to put
And
the
they
chemical in your body.
into it.
They could make it, but you eat it. You get what
Yep.
I'm saying, Rich?
Yes.
Yep,
Did
exactly.
you notice how important it
You
is that
open
we
your mouth like the
choose it?
vampire. Like you open the door.
Yes, they wouldn't
So
force
Yes.
it.
it's a
And I kept waiting
gateway.
for them to,
You open the
but they
door and put
wouldn't.
the food in your mouth. You sin against.
But it's like with
Yes.
it's the classic tale. It's you're tempted with things that are nice
Ah,
and they feel good, and it's easy to access.
yes.
It's an easy access feel good.
Easy.
It's quick,
Yes.
and it does, and it makes you
Easy access.
physically it makes you feel good. It gives you a warm feeling in your stomach, or it makes you feel lightheaded, or
Yeah.
whatever it is. It's an
Or,
instant gratification,
yes.
and then but you don't think about all the poisons that are all linked with this thing that you're putting in your body. And
Correct.
just silly thing. It doesn't have to be drugs and stuff. Sugar,
Or,
eating a
or
chocolate
anything.
bar, having a Twinkie, or it's also things that you're absorbing through your senses. So films you're watching,
Absolutely.
porn,
Filth.
Absolutely, yeah.
Filth.
Everything you ingest, there's
Filth.
the
Yes.
eyes are
everything you
doorways as
ingest and
well.
digest. Yeah,
Are they though? You touch everything you see. You touch everything you see.
but they don't.
It's one of
Nobody
that.
sat there with a gun. Nobody sat there with a gun telling you that you should be doing that. It's you telling yourself, "Oh, why don't you
Correct.
do that? Because that'll
Who's
feel good." And you don't listen to yourself when you say, "Yeah, but you shouldn't do that, mate, because blah blah blah." No, but fuck it,
Meditate on those
man.
thoughts.
Screw it.
Right.
you're supposed to observe the thoughts. M's
Yeah,
Mad World is it that there's a specific heart color that could do that, but you don't want. I'm not sure what you're saying. Like the earth, the color of the chakra is green. The color of this chakra is green. I'm not sure what you're saying though, but it'd be interesting if if you have a
there is.
valid argument, and if you want to join up, that would be cool.
There is. I mean, there is only one heart. The green is the
Is
heart
the
chakra.
green is the correct color of the heart chakra, and earth is an anagram of heart. Why I think that we're in the heart chakra versus being in another chakra, and there's chakra. I mean, it just all makes the most sense to me because the next chakra will be the throat, then the third eye. So that would be the 3 above, the 4 below.
Throat is blue, isn't it?
Right. And so in that realm, the sun would maybe blue.
In the way that you said, I know that sounds like F or as fuck. Okay, sounds harsh.
Say it again, Mark.
In there,
Oh,
it's a color. It's a color because the sound is a color, is a
yeah.
feeling, is a spirit.
Sound is frequency.
Word.
Yeah, color is frequency.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. Color is a frequency, and it puts off a
Yes.
frequency. Absolutely.
So
And
harsh,
yeah,
harsh as fuck sound. A harsh as fuck sound would be red, a bright red,
Yes.
or
Thank you.
I mean, maybe it could be a yellow, but it's
Possibly.
going to be
Yeah.
a bright, sharp color. And red, we have this instinctual thing
M's
about the
Mad
color
World,
red because our blood is red.
Animals do as well.
right? And is the soul in the blood fluid? I mean,
Ah.
a lot
Yes.
of people have different opinions on it's a negative color because there's a lot of numbers that they use. You can't discard all colors. They could be used in 2 ways, in my opinion.
Well, yes. Absolutely. They're used to calm in jails. They put yellow everywhere because it doesn't rhyme. Like it's docile.
Or green.
And
It's like in offices. If you're in an
the
office,
same with my street lights,
Yes.
Morgan.
Mm-hmm.
They changed to
Oh yeah.
a different color.
Yes.
Yeah,
The street
because of and it's
lights.
streetlights.
affecting
Oh right, how
people
they code
anymore.
them, and even the sirens, why they make them, and you can't use blue and white. We may only use blue and white.
You're chopping up.
There's lots of colors.
Oh yeah, but you can use like amber and violet.
Right.
And
I've
we
seen.
and there's colors that we can't even see. Like we can't see infrared, right?
No, ultraviolet. I don't think those rays.
I forget who it was that I was speaking to who had an experience where they woke up and they could see ultra they could see
Yeah,
Full spectrum.
infrared.
red infrared, yeah, infrared. They could see it.
I
They were aware of the
I,
infrared.
I see that being as possible. Everyone's reality is being their senses are being blocked at some sense, and every sense is being blocked. Say for the vision, it's being blocked. Like in these, there's other color frequencies that we cannot see, we cannot hear on this earth. There's other things that we probably don't smell or taste as well. Maybe those things get revealed to us in different times of this realm. I'm not sure. It's something that I've been leaning more towards lately. You know, I feel like we, regardless, and that's what the great year is, the big cycle. You know, M's Mad
There's a
World made a video or eyesight, so M's Mad World will be on after making coffee to tell us more because I'm interested. I worry about color more than I put on, and I know how to affect sales and lighting
people don't
and stores, the things, you know,
people don't like most people don't
induce
fully
buying.
appreciate the importance of color and like the colors that you
Right.
wear. Like the colors that you
Yes.
wear on your clothes, if you're wearing all black or if you're wearing yellow or if you're wearing red, you know,
Absolutely.
it has there's a psychological thing going on that people don't.
Yes.
What do you think about someone that wears all black? I mean, you're correct, 100% about
I
what
wear
you're saying,
black
Richie.
a lot of the time.
So do
Black's
I.
one of my colors,
Me
and
too.
but I
And
so I've been go on.
black absorbs all color for one, but um,
I think it's beautiful.
you can cloak yourself in all black.
Yeah,
So like when you were
it's
talking about you were talking about remote viewers and everything earlier. Generally, I feel that you could block. I know for a fact you don't have to let everyone work like that, and not everyone's that connected or that strong. And maybe there are some people that are that I have, but I do know from experience from my own personal remote views and out of body experiences and other things like that. So I'm not just saying on experience
Right.
from my end, and then studying the and everything and seeing that how it worked for some people, and some people could just do it. They don't have to think about it. They don't have to focus. They're already tuned in, trained to tune in the frequency. It's like changing a dial. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me tune into Richie's frequency. You know?
They already have their dial
here
set.
she is. There she is, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, I mean,
Please make her feel. We've got M's Mad World.
Good morning.
Hey,
Yeah.
Oh, it's morning where I'm at.
it's 2 a.m. where I'm at. Can you?
You're the only one that I had the
Hear you good.
You're the only one that I had the applause
Okay, I'm
set
dead.
up ready.
Yay! Now that makes me feel the day I had yesterday and everything I got going on right now. I'm not gonna lie, Rich. I needed that. And nice to meet already met you, which I think I have met any of you, except maybe David. Right? If I'm not
I don't believe
mistaken.
I've had the pleasure. My name's Sterling. It's nice to meet you.
I mean, I'm
Summer,
Nice to meet
yeah, not Summer. Sorry,
Hey,
I was looking at Summer's name in the
second
chat.
again.
Sterling. Sterling
Yeah.
is one of my. He's fairly new on the panel and stuff, and he's one of my I really appreciate having him around because he's one of the sort of more normal.
When I,
I wouldn't go
It-
that
it-
far.
when,
Let's don't
now
get
you,
crazy. Let's don't get crazy, mate.
yeah,
But it sounds like it sounds like it sounds like you have a southern accent. Am I right?
oh, she's
I think that video that I made was
oh, we got two of it.
probably about at least. Hold on. Let's see.
Check your settings.
The volume up.
We're gonna have
M?
to. I think everybody's gonna have to turn their cameras off because the restream's really not doing very well.
How do I turn mine off? Wait.
On the bottom of the
Let me
screen, it should have a
see.
count.
Bottom. I think I
Underneath
see
under the screen, there's a camera there. You just
I see
click
the
on it
message
next to the
thing, and then
microphone.
I see that.
Oh, you're on your phone.
Telling
aren't
you
you?
wrong.
Yeah, it should be on.
a
It should be on your phone as
Yeah,
well.
I'm
You
on
just press
my
the screen.
phone.
Yeah, if you just press the
on the
screen,
browser.
touch,
It has a camera
touch,
symbol. You just click on it.
For the camera symbol. I see like every symbol but the camera symbol.
we know where the symbols
I
where
see a
the
message
where the
wait,
cog where the
nope.
settings symbol is. There's a settings. You
Oh,
can't
up here at
share
the top.
stuff, but it's down at the bottom. It's not at the top.
No, that too.
It's
Oh,
underneath.
did I get it? I bet I
There we
got it
go.
then.
Yep.
There you go. Now you see that setting button. See that
Right on.
setting button next to it. Maybe you want to go in and check your echo count. The other one that Richie mentioned.
Echo cancellation and noise suppression. If nobody touches anything when they come in, if they just come straight in, then echo cancellation and noise suppression should will normally always be on. So like you have to physically take them off normally. But we'll get there. We'll get there.
He is right about that. So mine should sound good. I will say my voice is part of the reason why I sound like shit.
Your voice sounds a little bit croaky there, Em.
Oh, yeah, I've been crying. I've been crying all day since yesterday. But remember my tooth. I'm also recovering from an abscess.
Yeah, it's Em's got an abscess where a filling fell out, and she's got an abscess up in her gum, and that's obviously
I got one.
And it was so much worse the other day. Yeah, it's bad.
And
then
aren't all your teeth connected to like different? So is it affecting you like physically in another way as well?
No, actually, the weird thing is that it didn't hurt my tooth so much as the gum line itself and in my cheek, right where the swelling is. The swelling has gone down a lot since I last Rich. Talked to Rich. It was really swollen that day. But yeah, I can actually talk and open my mouth way more now than I could get, considering how much. But my eyesight, I feel like everything is on vibration. It's a frequency thing, right? So if we hear on different frequencies, like some people can hear lower level frequencies than others. Some of us just don't hear on that frequency. I feel like eyesight and color, it's the same thing. Color is a spectrum, so we see on different levels of spectrum, meaning I may see some colors.
I would
say
it's all
may not. Yeah. And then if you have one that is disabled or completely gone, then obviously that's going to enhance. Forgive me, guys. I'm so sorry about that. That must be awful.
You're getting growled a bit as well. You're getting a little bit. I didn't catch all of that, but
I didn't catch all of that. But I think you were going the direction that when your senses become more enhanced.
Yeah. Whenever one of them is disabled or gone altogether, like you lose one altogether, or it is even like, say you're not totally deaf, you're like partially deaf. All your other senses are to pick up in
Yeah,
the area
they're gonna pick up the
where
slack.
your hearing is failing in that one area. Yeah,
They're gonna compensate. Yeah,
exactly.
exactly, compensate. No, I and that's what leads me to the theories. Is like some people like to hear some. That's also changing people's perspectives on everything as well too, because we having the same experience as somebody else is having.
Right. That also, but sometimes I'll get into these conversations with people around here in my personal life where somehow mental health issues will get drugged into that, and they go, well, how do you know that person isn't just hallucinating? I'm like, well, first of all, I don't look at anything in life like that. I just can't. I refuse to accept that everybody must have something wrong with them simply because their view doesn't align with mine. That's so fucking stupid.
No, yeah,
like that's dumb. That's dumb.
Yeah.
I can't we can agree to disagree.
So you don't have to think.
Yeah, it's a cop-out.
I found the best thing to do is like when I don't agree with someone's opinion, I stop trying to listen to what they're saying about that, and I can agree with and learn from that more than anything. You know, like if I've already been down the path and beating a dead horse by being stuck in this pattern, but there's still, because I've learned that every single person has a lesson to teach you, whether it's bad or good, and observe it and learn from it. So at the same time, the same guy that I'm like calling him all these names, that's ego. Richie was addressing this earlier. That's our ego saying that, and that's not being good. We all paint these pictures like we're all trying to express to everyone like, hey, I'm such a good person, why I'm so wonderful, instead of people just being honest, not with everyone else, with themselves.
And it's also, I think it's so you might actually have got things together. You might have grown, and the way you react and whatever changes, and then somebody you have somebody come at you, from a energy space that you recognize but you've moved past.
Yeah.
But what's happening is it's for them and it's for you. For them, it's an opportunity for to have something
for growth
told to them. For you, it's an opportunity to show to see, hey, wow, I dealt with that completely differently this time. I didn't do what I would have done 4 years ago.
Richie, sometimes we have to revisit the same lessons over and over again. So sometimes we have to, and sometimes the part that's missing is the part that person's experiencing. And if we figure it out, and then we completely move on past that lesson.
Right.
And I think there's a lot of, it's like testing. It's like, it's sort of the universe or God or whoever going, all right, you think you got it together, have you? Here we go. Let's see how you deal with this. Let's just see how you deal with this.
Did you see my comment? I kind of just threw it out there in chat only because I'm shocked. I still don't really know how to deal with it. If the universe didn't pull that number on me yesterday, then I really don't know how else it could possibly do that. Because I lost my brother in a motorcycle accident yesterday, like literally yesterday. And so I really was like kind of interested. I thought I had my shit together. I've got my channel. I've got my podcast. I'm about to move. I'm doing all this shit. And boom, out of nowhere. And he's gone.
Your actual brother, your real brother.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Wow.
You think he passed away? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. I've lost this. So Rich knows me a little bit, like he knows a lot about me. I've lost a son almost 15 years ago. Still a totally entirely put into words why they're so obviously they're very, very different losses, but they're both extremely profound.
The son was actually a part of you.
Right. My brother is an extension
like you had
of me.
You have a different connection. It's literally an extension of you. the sun, that feeling. In my opinion, I'm not trying to say how you feel, but
So, you remember what I say about?
No.
You remember what I say about being able to loss. It's all about loss. Dealing with loss. Loss has got to be one of the hardest things for us to deal with here on this earth, and the hardest thing about it is the loss. You've lost somebody. You're never going to get to speak to that person again. In this, where we are now, in at this stage in the game, all I can say, the only thing that I can say that might be comforting is, listen, you know that this isn't it. And if anything, not in a morbid way.
I'm jealous. I'm jealous.
Yes, not in a morbid way. It's like, oh,
No,
you bastard, you're going to get going the bus before me. You know, like it's
all I could think of, and I was in the shower. I was like, I'm so mad at you, you bastard. I'm so jealous.
And think of it this way as well. Everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
Right.
In my opinion, is those people live in your soul forever. You don't ever lose that connection. It doesn't. It just transforms, you know. So they're transforming into something else.
And he's there to look out for you now as well. That's what, you know.
Yeah.
And actually, it doesn't. And also, it doesn't matter what your relationship was like while he was alive. That actually doesn't matter, because once he's released from his ego, once he's left his vessel, his ego isn't going to be part of it anymore. Then it's the all, and he'll understand. He's outside of time and space now, so he can see what's going on. He knows what's going on.
Yeah.
He knows where you are. He knows what the mission is for you, what the plan is for you, and so whatever went on in this life, he'll understand it now, and he'll just any of them, anything anybody wants is to get on to you know, to grow and to grow up. We've all got to grow up, all of us.
Yeah.
17 Joy said that's the way, like you have this frequency that you could still communicate in that aspect.
Yeah. No, I do. He was trying to talk to me immediately after he was gone. I thought he was trying to telepathically talk. I didn't realize he wasn't here anymore. And then I got the news, and then I still kept trying for it. And then I was in the shower, and everything got so quiet in my mind. And all I could hear was him saying,
"Yep.
Now, I know your bitch ass ain't in the shower crying over me. You still have work to do. Mine was done. That's why I'm here. Now suck it up, buttercup." And that's it.
Yeah,
that's all he said. I was like, you bastard. That's when I was in the shower, like, you bastard.
Yeah.
But
the trouble is with grief as well, is that often what we do is we do what we think others are expecting us to do.
Yeah.
Like, if we're not sat there in tears and crying, really upset, people are going to come up and say, "What's wrong with you? Haven't you got a heart? Why aren't you upset?" It's like, but you mustn't let that. You know, don't feel guilty.
You're supposed to celebrate.
Never feel guilty. Don't feel guilty.
And he said that. He said, "This is only the beginning." Like, I just knew. I'm like, oh, great. So the rest of 2023 is going to be real exciting for me, y'all. I can tell already. So much fun.
Well, because because it started with so much pain, though. Literally, like physically, mentally, emotionally, you've started the year with difficulties, with serious difficulties. So it's only going to get better.
You're just going to transform it and transmute it and build from it as moving forward. You know,
because I mean,
I'm sorry,
I don't have any other.
It's don't have the right words for you, but it's really tough to have those experiences. I just, I don't even hope. I just know that it'll get better for you. It's definitely hard.
It's super. I'm just glad I am fortunate enough. I used to be like a complete shut-in, like pre-pandemic, before my channel. I just really was a people person. I'm still not very much a people person. But then I started my channel and started interacting with other content creators for, I think it's almost 4 years now. Where like whenever something major happens in my life, there's a few people that I instantly like, I've got to find out where they are to talk with them, because if I'm starting to feel like disconnected from reality or just any way detached, like they can hear me. They're that like voice of reason. Richie knows. He is definitely one of those people. He's like in my top 3. Other than my mom and dad.
I see you're going to Caucasian Sasquatch now though. More
when you're not around because you're in bed. So I get stuck with him. Oh my God, that's a whole hot mess.
Sasquatch is awesome.
Where awesome. This is what happens when you're in a bed. I get stuck with a Squatch, and
it's closer to your timeline.
That's a freaking whole nother show.
It's closer to your timeline as well. If there's any time between you, it's only an hour or 2.
I know, but I stayed up on purpose tonight. I was like, no. I'm waiting. I'm waiting, and I saw that the last 2 days, what time he's just wait.
Shocking.
For Caucasian Sasquatch.
Oh, we've lost.
Can someone share a link?
We've lost Sterling. We're getting a bit. There's a bit of lag and grabble and people talking over each other, but none of it's intentional. It's just this. StreamYard's messing us around. But Sterling, dude. It honestly, come back anytime if you've whatever reason you've dropped out for, no worries, come back whenever. Yeah, so yeah, David, we're talking about Caucasian Sasquatch, who's fairly regularly in my chat room. He's got a channel promoting smaller channels. He promotes smaller channels and showcases smaller channels and stuff. Talks about all kinds of things, and he's more in Sterling's headspace than ours, I think. Although I'm not sure. He's very careful. He's very careful not to really give his own opinion. He's one of these. He's very clever. If you notice, being able to tell when he's being serious and when he's joking.
Oh, indeed.
He's joking most of the time. Most of the time, just joking.
Yeah, but it's very hard.
When he's being serious, his voice changes. His voice changes. He changes his posture, and he sits in and he says, "Right, no, seriously though." You know, that's what he was telling me the other day, because I said that to him. I said, "Dude, sometimes I don't even know when you're joking. You know, I can't tell if you're joking, if you're being serious." No, mate, you know when I'm being serious.
Yeah. Because, well, actually, now that I think about it, no, I think he was being serious when he got on to me about the anarchy thing. He was being serious. He was like, him and Samuel both were like, no, there is no way you can ever in chaos. That is wrong. Your thought is wrong. And that's it. It's wrong. I mean, like, wait, what? You never say stuff is wrong. He was like, that thought is wrong. That's very intimidating.
I disagree, because I think chaos is about perspective. So if you're able to take, if you're able to gain the perspective, then you'll be able to see that the chaos is not chaotic. It's actually, there's an order within the chaos.
You balanced it.
So
what's chaos to the spider is normal or what's chaos to the fly is normal to the spider.
also we demonstrate it on a regular basis, like absolutely every single time you speak, every single time you open your mouth, you're taking the chaos in your mind and filtering it into an expression. So there's order comes out of the words that come out of your mouth are ordered, and people can understand what you're saying. But what's going on in your head,
It's utter
if you were
chaos.
to try and speak all the thoughts that you have at one time, it would be chaotic. You wouldn't, and that's why some people, when you talk to them, it's chaotic talking to them, because they can't keep hold of one train of thought. They're bouncing around all over the place chaotically.
Yeah,
So
and
order
a lot of us,
chaos is something. Go on, David. Sorry, mate.
all these things, we describe it in our own personal experiences, and so we add these pieces that people, because they didn't have those same experiences, so they're not relating to it as well. So it makes it even more chaotic.
Yeah.
If somebody can't relate to it, it's chaotic. And why can't they relate? Because they don't have the perspective. They haven't been given the perspective to be able to see what it is that you're describing, so it looks chaotic to them. So yeah, I completely disagree with Caucasian Sasquatch on that term.
I hear about
Like kind of
these smaller
we're
shows
gonna agree to disagree.
that I think
I'm still gonna be an artist.
We didn't get much of that time. Sorry, really grabbled.
Yeah.
Go on,
I'm not
Dave.
trying to speak over you. What I was going to say is that I found from my own personal YouTube that the bigger channels I don't get as much out of as I do as the smaller channel, and the it's, I don't know, it's really weird. And they say you have 15 viewers right now. I would say it's probably incorrect. There's probably your own body. You have trillions of cells, and they're all listening. So you have trillions of people listening. It's not to yourself or just 14 people. You're talking to your inner self as well.
And also all the different aspects of each person, like the different aspects of each person's ego. Every single person has got a different version of themselves depending on the situation, depending on what it is that they're going through. So, you know, there's the angry version, there's the happy version, there's the sad version, there's the reflective version, there's the, you know, with myself, there's all these different versions of me. It's still me. It's still me, but there's different versions of me depending on what the energy that I'm feeling, the you know, my sense of being at the time. So in that respect, so each person is 3 or 4 different people. So maybe it's not 16 people. It's 5 times 16 people. I can't do the maths quickly in my head.
It's hard in my head, Goms.
5 times 16 is 50.
I think at the same time, I love math.
I
didn't catch it.
Still a little choppy, but I heard that you said you love math.
I love math, but it's really hard. Sometimes it's really hard for me to do math a lot, and then other times it will come to me in such a simplistic way that I go, now how the hell did I not that? I don't know.
Yes.
The different personalities too. Sometimes I think we can have different personalities that are so completely yet are within us that they literally don't know one from the other.
Yeah.
Which means they're like capable of doing things and not.
Yeah. I want everybody to
knowing.
think about I want everyone to think about what I said as well, because we're dealing with frequencies, and I presumably, well, yeah, you're using your phone, so you're on either Wi-Fi or you're on 4G, Same with David and Morgan. I'm hardwired into the
And
to
you sound
the
the best.
thing. Yeah,
You
but
do sound better
also
than everybody.
like, I think that the energy that's coming off of us is able to interfere. So you're getting grabbled a lot, and you're popping in. Your sound's getting cut out.
I'm gonna get out. I bet that's what it is.
I think it's
Well,
linked
just get out and
to
come back in. We try to reconnect.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's what I'm gonna do.
go out and come back in. I think it is connected to how we're feeling inside. You know, if we're feeling
Right.
Oh, that's
really
causing some
emotional and
interference.
upset, and you know, there's this energy's coming off of us, and it's interfering with the you know, with the other frequencies that are that it's competing against. And our frequency is the strongest. Our ability to transmit these frequencies is way more powerful than their shitty little Wi-Fi and, you know, their 5G and 4G and all of that. They're just trying to. They're all they're doing at the end of the day is they're copying the blueprint, which is we're the blueprint.
Richie, I want
We
to
have
say one thing. When I hear you talk, it just makes me think about I really are upset. Voice. Like it seems like you're always cool and collective, regardless.
I actually got quite I got quite passionate when I was talking to David, I forget what his name was, but not Sama, sorry, Sama, Sterling's friend. Sterling sent somebody my way, and he came on, and talking to him, I got quite passionate, or I was so frustrated. I got very frustrated, so my voice raised. I wasn't shouting, but I raised my voice, and I know the energy that was coming off of me must have picked up. People would have felt it. That I was like, seriously, no, come off it. I mean, you actually believe that? You really believe that? That was the level of, you know, energy that was coming off of me. And it doesn't happen so much now. It doesn't happen so much. He's the first person that's actually got me, you know,
Triggered
to that point
in a
where
while.
I'm actually I'm finding it hard to contain myself, because that's what it is. At the end of the day, you're containing yourself. You contain that energy. You can feel the energy bubble up inside, and you're like, more. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that, but you contain that energy. Let it, and just and don't let it burst out. That's what I'm much better at doing now. I still feel the things that I felt before, but I'm much better at not expressing it all the time, holding on to it.
No, I've
If
never.
it fades, like if I hold on to that energy and I feel it dissipate, and then you know, and I turn it over in my mind, and I think, yeah, but blah, 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 there's, you know, and you think about all the other reasons why I shouldn't say what it is that I'm thinking I'm going to say. If after half an hour or an hour I'm still feeling, no, you've got to go and say something. You've got to say something. Just be careful about how you say it. You don't need to. There's these things you know, you can do it like this, or you could do it like that. It'd be better if you did it like that, you know. And so it's much more calm and measured, and what's the word? Another word for calm and measured.
I'm like drawing a blank. You said that, and you're like, maybe me, you know.
That's the worst, isn't it? When you know, and you know
Yeah.
the word's there in your head, and
I'm
then
like,
soon as
wait, what?
somebody says, it's like it puts it almost like it
Yes.
reprograms your mind, and you go, damn it, I knew what that word
Right.
was.
Yeah, until he said he didn't know, and then it just threw me, you know.
That happens to me. As soon as somebody says, as soon as somebody loses their train of thought, and they say, "Oh shit, I lost my train of thought. What were we talking about?" As soon as they say, "What were we talking about?" my mind goes beep, blank.
Yep.
No, I
Yeah,
can't remember.
it's a
Shit, what were we talking?
program trigger. I think
Yes.
that something that like has been instilled in people from the television. Everyone's affected by it.
Yeah. We trip ourselves up as well. Like I was saying about the chaotic nature of thought. So we have all these different thoughts bouncing around in our head, and quite often, sometimes different. With me, I can have different opinions bouncing around, and while I'm talking, I've got these other thoughts in my head fighting to be expressed, but I'm trying to concentrate on this one thought that I'm trying to express, but this other thought keeps going me 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 me. Oh shit! I've forgotten what I was talking about, man. I've just lost my train of thought. You know, that's how it is for me. I don't know if hopefully people can relate to that.
Very much. Beautiful. Beautifully put.
I don't know who the David guy was from last week, but it could be me also.
It's
Someone
David.
typed.
I think it's David Grant. I think his name is
Oh,
David.
okay. No, I'm just joking though. I didn't think it was me because I was on last week.
He came on camera as well, dude. That's the thing. I really appreciated that he came on camera like straight away. So, or he was sat there off camera, and I was just about to say to him, "Dude, can you put your camera on? Because I don't know who you are, just so I can see." You know, just before like, I'm cool not being on camera on the screen, but in the backstage, where only I can see you. I want to see, you know, I just want to. But
You're
before I said it, he turned his camera on. So I brought him on and said, "You just read my mind, mate. You just literally read my mind. I was just thinking. I
well.
was just going to ask
I
you."
think that like we're receivers and senders, or there's a better term for this. But in your thinking thoughts, you're sending this signal out, and some people are tuning out depending on how much brain fog or other problems they're having. You know?
Hmm. What's that say?
Chrysalis.
I'm not sure.
It's about that. I'm reading it on my channel. It's about when we develop the ability to speak with our minds to each other. We lose it after the big
I absolutely
boom.
know at one point in this realm that we did telepathically communicate with bugs and everything. I know it inside. I've always known it. It's always been an intuition of mine. And every time I doubt it, the evidence just keeps appearing to prove it to me, to myself. You know.
I liked what
Yeah.
Sama said. I think it was yesterday. He was saying about how it was after a DMT trip that he did. He had a really intense, did a hero dose. Um, for 1 hour, he
Right.
was tripping, and after that, ever since that, like he didn't used to like spiders too much, and of course in Australia you get the huntsman spider, and this huntsman
Yeah.
spider was on his desk, walking across his desk, but it didn't put any fear in him at all. He wasn't afraid. He just sat and watched it. And this huntsman spider walked up to his hand and then just lightly touched his hand with one of his legs. And he said the feeling he got from it was this spider was just giving him a little, fist bump, like a little, "Hey, man."
Yeah. That's so cool that you can do this, bro, and went up and did it because there's absolutely no psychic block.
I'm not sure where everyone else is at, like in their path and their journey, but like I've definitely had community trees and clear communications, like ones that I can't deny, and I think that's what a lot of people where they discard the phenomenon is because they're thinking that like grow a face and talk out of a mouth instead of through the telepathic communication. So they can't see anything else because they've blocked every other
Yes.
thinking that way.
They can't fathom talking to the mountain or that the mountain would talk back.
I mean, some people say when this place resets, the energy is so crazy that animated.
That was, I've just missed the end of that. That what was animated?
The whole everything around you, everything.
Yeah.
Your computer, whatever, your desk, everything.
Like
Whatever.
it comes to life, animated. Sort of seems
Like
everything
I
will come.
the Disney movie where they're cleaning the house where the person's gone. It's all the different things like that.
That's
I'm not sure the Disney one.
Disney. Yeah, yeah. It's the Sorcerer's Apprentice,
I feel
where
like
he's
a lot of those movies are giving us these puzzle pieces, regardless if they have
Yeah, and I think as well is that the truths and stuff that we're seeing in movies weren't intentionally put there. I think we'll set it going. Oh, it's predictive programming, and that they're telling us. They're telling us. I don't think they can help but tell us. I think that it's stuff that they're channeling. Through their creativity, and maybe in some cases they are trying to, they're just blatantly telegraphing it to us. But I think in a lot of cases it's like the Simpsons, right? The Simpsons with Trump walking down the stairs. I don't think the Simpsons predicted it. I don't think it was predictive programming. I think it was just a prediction, but it wasn't even known.
I
They
don't
didn't even know
think that, Richie.
making that prediction, but they didn't even know
I
it.
think
They
people
just
some people things and they just don't even know it, and they're just expressing it, and they don't even know why.
Yeah.
On purpose. It's not like this grand conspiracy. It's just like the astrology. Who knows? I mean, like there could be so many factors, but it's like you have on it if against you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
That right? Probably didn't, but
It's just cutting out a little. It's cutting out the beginning and end of your sentence.
Yeah.
Just a couple of little spots in between. It's very frustrating today. The sound quality on Restream.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I mean, I could do it again on. I could set up it because I'm only streaming to one channel, so I could do it. I could bring it up again on StreamYard.
Oh, connect from this one and start a whole new broadcast. You're saying?
Yeah, stop, end this stream and start a new one with StreamYard.
Do you want to type the StreamYard link in the private chat before?
I need to set it up.
Okay.
I need to set it up. Hang on.
All right.
Right, you carry on chatting amongst yourselves for a second. I'll set this up.
All right, Morgan. So, what have you gotten from that? Oh, and the one thing I want to say about the connection and all that objects being animated, we're energy. So, do I see it being possible? Well, absolutely. I really couldn't tell you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna make any to. I don't know if I brought a tree to an ecstasy, but I've had like sat on a tree and had my right and left hand only made connections and had telepathy type of conversations with the tree. About the place on the tree I was sitting was one of the big cut off real early on to probably get the tree to grow not into the street or whatever, and that's where I made the connection, was from that point or whatever, and that tree told me about that. I mean, somebody earlier was talking about some everyone's on psychedelics. I think we all our body's making DMT every single night. Depending on how good your gut health is the more of a connection you do have. Makes the serotonin and melatonin. With poor gut health, are not making the same connections. A lot of the old trees were silica, and we are trees as well. Taurus is Taurus is the root. Taurus is tree. We are Taurus. Everything is Tauruses.
Yes.
So we're all trees, essentially.
Yes, each of us. Each of us has our own field.
Right, there's a link to the video. All right, and here's a link to the.
Well, if you put it in the StreamYard, I can click it on my phone. Like I'm not in the chat.
Yeah, I'll put it in the private.
Please.
Right, there's a StreamYard link in the private chat.
All right. So Richie's gonna, for everyone here, Richie's the broadcast. You're gonna have to rejoin on the channel momentarily.
Yeah, I'm gonna end this one. We'll end this one now, and we'll come back on StreamYard. The link to the video and to the thing are in there. So, Morgan, I'll see you in StreamYard, dude.
All right, my friend.
And everybody else, we'll just see you in the video that I've linked there. All right.